Retired Air Force Colonel Jeffrey Fisher now, who joins us from Vienna, U.S. Air Force, I should say, just to clarify. Good to see you, Jeffrey. Thanks for joining us. You know, I don't know if you've seen it, but when you hear about this video that's circulating, that level of violence, and knowing that a lot of these soldiers coming from the Russian side, a lot of them haven't been well trained or they've been taken from prisons. For that level of violence, if this video is real, it takes a lot of buy-in from a person to do something like that and videotape. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, Michelle, thank you very much for having me. I greatly appreciate being on your show, and I love the chance to engage with your audience. You're right. It's graphic, it's horrific, it's unsettling, even to seasoned veterans and military folks like myself. There's a couple of things that we take away from this. First, right, we know there's laws against this, right? We know it is completely against the law. There's the Geneva Convention that exists. There's laws of armed conflict, so we know this is inappropriate behavior on all levels. The second issue that we need to keep in mind is the Russian military is very different than Western militaries, those that are in NATO or like the United States. And our militaries, we talk about doctrine that is centralized command, centralized control. In other words, we give soldiers some latitude. We let them make decisions. Russians military is centralized command, centralized execution, which means nothing happens in that military without a commander or without leadership approving it. So we also can make a very, very good assumption that this is not only supported, but it's being ordered by their leadership, right? So we know that leaders condone it. If they didn't, clearly no one would videotape it and circulate it out. And the last thing is—
Are you sure about that, Jeffrey? Because it seems like on these battlefields, it's absolute chaos in many cases. Are you sure that this would have the approval of somebody higher up?
When you look at the way that the when you look at the way that the Russian military works, Russian soldiers are often trained to be more fearful of their leadership than they are of the enemy. We often joke in the West that you can actually, if a Russian soldier's never been ordered to fire on you, you can crawl into the foxhole with him and have coffee before the order gets executed, because he won't shoot on you. The last thing that I did want to point out, though, however, is that the Russian military has clearly aligned itself with other bad actors who've done similar things. If you recall, you remember Al-Qaeda or the Taliban beheading Daniel Pearl, a journalist on TV. There's numerous videos of other beheadings that exist out there from some terrorist organizations. And clearly, Russia's military is now amongst those types of fighters and those types of warriors. There is, I know war is a horrible thing, but there is some level of nobility and just war and laws in military conflict. And it's clear that Russia's violated those.
I also want to get your take on Russia saying that it has successfully launched an intercontinental ballistic missile at the same time that it's been repeatedly making these nuclear threats. How much alarm does that give you?
I know it alarms a lot of people, and to be fair, nobody wants nuclear war, and I understand that position completely. But I think a lot of this is just rhetoric, and it's an unchecked Vladimir Putin who's able to escalate whenever he wants. He's used hypersonic missiles in battle space. That was an escalation. He's notified the world that he's going to put nuclear weapons inside of Belarus. That was an escalation. And now, Michelle, just like you said, there's yet again another escalation that the West has not responded to. And he feels emboldened to continue make these escalations because, unfortunately, Western leaders have yet to actually respond in a measured way to go in and support and help Ukraine.
All right, Colonel Jeffrey Fisher, excellent to have you on the show. Thanks.
Thank you.